Hey, Jean Cassad here. I just kind of wanted to give a demo of the new state for the character viewer. Um, I'm not going to edit this, so I may go off on tangents, and I apologize for that. So currently you should be able to see the player-facing version of the app, which is the actual character viewer itself. The rest is just a few settings on the DM side and a couple of neat features for the DMs that I'll go over in another video. So this is Billy. This is actually my wife's character in my campaign. I've got him pulled up for the demo. I've got, for now, this is the character panel that can be minimized or expanded just if you need to see your character's name or roll initiative or gold value, or you need to see your HPs or all your saving throws to roll, you can do that from here. We're going to keep that minimized now. I will tell you, though, that this gold amount can be edited. You just need to tap into it. And that assumes that, of course, the player has access in Foundry, which they need to access their character here anyway. So the next feature I'll show you is the chat. I've integrated the Foundry chat here, and it will show everything that shows in Foundry chat. And then I just finished fixing the attribution so that the messages are no longer all attributed to the game master, and they have proper attributions. So yeah, I can send a message through the back end so you all can see that that actually works. So that is me saying, as the game master, I can say test, and then of course I can say test back here, or anything other than test. It doesn't matter. And it all shows up as Billy because that's who's sending the message technically, not me. Even though it gets routed through me, we use the API. We call a different endpoint to pass the user that's doing the message in the message composition. So, and then of course we're in the Actions tab. Anytime out of combat, these can be clicked with no issues, and it will allow the players to roll, whatever they want, and it just shows up here. They can just roll whatever they want anytime. And if you click up here, it'll tell you exactly what was rolled. And then, of course, rolling the D4 or the D1 or just hitting 1, we'll just put that up here. And of course, you click on it, you can see how the damage was rolled there too. This tab is mostly sorted by mainly sorted by melee and ranged. Figured that was a good delineator. This shows basically any action that you can perform in combat, from actions in attacks to spells to consumables. It'll show consumables you probably won't even want to see in combat. The only limitation here is that it's a consumable, so it will show it here if it can be used as an action by the rules. The cool thing about this tab is, while I have a combat active as the Dungeon Master, so if I go in here and say, Billy, you're going to go in combat, and then I begin set encounter, it now reflects that we're encounter on the turn resources tab up here. And now anything Billy does on this tab will automatically take away the appropriate resource. And I, the DM, can edit or add or remove resources as needed on my end through the Foundry integration. So, for example, if I were to hit, let's use Veteran's Cane, I hit that. It takes a second to roll because it has to make the communication with the API, but it's literally maybe a second. And then it rolls and it takes away that action. Now, say the player, oh, I accidentally hit that. As a Dungeon Master, it's actually super easy to just add that action right back on there so that they can go ahead and use it. Alternately, you can just reset all their actions using the reset button at the bottom, and it will reset them back to what they were. So we're going to put it back. And then, so it works with actions, it works with bonus actions. So if I go down here, I can find the bonus actions, and I can say, well, okay, let's do the Kinder. Let's use a potion. I'll have to add one. I got a pop-up saying, hey, are you sure you want to do this? This will actually remove this item from your inventory. I did it. I'll just give my player back that item. It's fine. And it used it. I just checked on the other end. It's been removed from the inventory. Still shows up here because they have multiple in their inventory. I think she has probably a dozen. There should be I'm not sure why we're not seeing a count here. I'll have to check into that. So that may be a new feature that I need to add. But it's got all of the things that can be used as actions. You can see the bonus action has been used because potion was used. So yeah, and then if I, on this other end, if I hit next to go to the next round in combat, of course it will reset everything. And since I already added one earlier, it will give them another one. So I'll need to take that away. The add one, remove one, stuff like that is meant to be used for things like haste or debuffs, where it's going to prevent them from doing reactions for 2 turns. And then you just have to reset it when you're done. Anyway, that's the Actions tab. Moving on to the Skills tab. Oh, I do want to be clear. It will use spells here, and if you click Cast, it will deduct from the spell slots. So if I go over here and I cast, let's just cast Heat Metal, and I hit Cast. It doesn't give you a confirmation here. Maybe I should have one up here that just says Spell Cast or something. But if you go over here and look in the magic, you can see that there's been a 2nd level slot checked off. If there is the ability to upcast, we will prompt for the upcast. That is something I have not, it's not in this build, but it's something I've already done. It's just waiting to be merged. That's the magic tab pretty much. The skills tab is pretty self-explanatory. You can click on any of these and it'll roll it for you. And as the DM, I'm seeing all of these in rolls in Foundry because it's sending them across Foundry. I'm unchecking that because they actually haven't used it. There is a search at the top of the actions and top of the magic. These are just really just to search for things because it can be a lot if you know what you're looking for. It can be a lot to just have to scroll all the way down, so it's easier to type. Something that's not pictured here because this is a druid. If the user is a wizard, they will have a button here to learn spells. I'm not sure. I haven't fully decided on how I want that to work, but right now the way it works is they can choose whatever spells they want to learn from the wizard spell list, but then it goes to you, the DM, to say, yes, I approve. Meaning you've double checked that they actually have those scrolls and they're not just trying to, get free spells. If you have any ideas for how I can track that, I'd love to hear them. Here's the gear tab. I'm still trying to work on ways to make this a little less clunky, a little less big. I feel like these tiles are huge and they can be condensed a lot. But yeah, it's exactly what it looks like. You can just go through here and see all the stuff. And if you click on it, by the way, it will pull up the item card for that item. And it's pulling all this information directly from Foundry. And that's same with spells, by the way. And same with actions in here, which are just spells and attacks. Gives you all the descriptions. And the ones that don't really have descriptions are these. And I can probably get descriptions to those. I just don't have them yet. Stow and equip are here, and then attune is here. All of your attuned items are going to be at the very bottom. I don't think people change their attunement enough to have it listed at the very top. But I'm open to hearing feedback, so I'd love to hear if you think otherwise. And then here's the biography tab. There's a sheet navigation setting here. I'm going to get rid of this. We're just going to stick with tabs and swipe. This means that you can swipe between any tab instead of having to click on the individual tab. I'm using a computer to display this, so I can't really give you an example because I'm not on my phone. But if you just swipe left or right, it should navigate through the tabs. Let me know if that doesn't work, and I will get it fixed. But yeah, this note here is directly tied to a journal in Foundry, and it's only available to that player, to that person. So it's hidden to everybody else. I think the DM can see it because the DM can see all, but it just shows up as a journal with the character viewer in front of it and then the character's name. Traits in here, it's just all of their characters' traits in a convenient place to look at them, go through all the different features. Again, pulling everything from Foundry. Bastion, this will only work if you have Bastions installed and set up in Foundry. If you do not have it installed, this straight up won't work. I might actually just have to hide it if you don't have it installed, if we can detect that. But yeah, you can issue orders here. you will have to discuss what those orders are with your DM, but you can issue orders here. And then the shop. This is my least polished feature because it's also the newest feature. This allows your players to legitimately just go through and put together their own cart and then make a purchase. And you, the DM, can go through and establish what items a shop has in advance, and then the players get a shop at that shop, like they're checking out at a website. Which, honestly, it's the worst. I hate doing the shops as a DM. It's hard to role play it because most people who are going to a shop, especially in high magic worlds, it's not going to be a person. It's most likely going to be some sort of a magic entity. But anyway, it's harder to roleplay that for me, and so I just much prefer this simple transactional type here. So your players can go through and they can just add what they want here, and then they can click purchase, and it sends it to the DM and says, hey, is this something you want to approve? This character really wants to make this purchase, and the DM has to decide yes or no. And then if the DM says yes, I said no, it checks out and finishes the purchase. Otherwise, it does not. When the purchase is finished, it will deduct from the gold amount. All of these amounts are in gold, by the way. I kind of hoped it would be clear. And it will automatically put the items purchased in that player's inventory for them to view. All of this through Foundry. I think I've pretty much demoed everything. Rest is up here. You can short or long rest. This is the same as doing it through Foundry. Again, we're calling the same exact endpoints that are used through Foundry's API. So dark mode and light mode, and then level up. The level up dialog will take a minute to actually occur because it has to get a lot of data from Foundry, and then it just goes through. The player can choose what they want and continue. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions. Thinking I'll have it available for straight download and available for use in a week or so, maybe 2, if things go bad. So yeah.